he brings in that area.
Yeah, well, Ray's going to play hard and defend and get after people, and the fact that he's a bigger guard and he can rebound and help us. That's what we need from everybody. Everybody's got to be a defensive rebounder, and he's put in a lot of time on his game and worked really hard, and you're going to get an effort from him every single night.
Sterling get like 5 3s today. I mean, that's obviously why you guys brought him here in part, was to add that kind of punch.
Right.
Is he someone who's in the mix for a potential starting role? Do you see him as more of a bench guy to come in?
I would think for us, I don't really get into it until those exhibition games, but I would think he comes off the bench for us as that guy that can come in and nail a couple threes and give you some energy and give you a lift, and have a guy like that can knock down shots. And you heard me at the banquet talk about I'm half joking but half serious. He just has to play to his strengths and shoot the basketball his strength, and we just got to keep him in the flow, and we got to get good rhythm shots for him.
How much do you think just the lineups that you have compared to last year, that the way that you operate this team this season starting out is going to surprise some of the fans?
Well, I think we can put a lot of pressure on the basketball. I think we can be a good defensive team. With that being said, I think people have to be able to adjust to A.J. Hammonds. I think he was attacked tonight about 10, 12 times, and they might have scored 1 or 2 baskets when they attacked him, and he simply just stands there. And none of them, they didn't call any fouls, and none of them were fouls, and so he gives us, that backline help that allows us to pressure and get in the passing lanes. I've talked about when you're smaller 1 through 4, it's really not 1 through 4, it's really your 4-man's a little bit smaller. It allows you to switch, it allows you to stay out of rotations, and then I think it just allows us to have versatile guys. When you think about Raphael and Basil and Eric Peck, and you have some guys that can play multiple positions and do multiple things, and I think it's really going to be an advantage for us.
You spoke at the end of the game there about returning to the player mentality. Right. Just how close are you to getting to where you want?
Well, that's I'm kind of back and forth because of the rule changes. You know what I mean? You want to be smart and make sure you're being aggressive, but also not fouling. But from a mindset standpoint, I want our guys to attack, and I want them to get into people and be aggressive. And that doesn't mean you're fouling. You say those words, and right away someone says, "Well, it doesn't make sense." No, that having that defensive mindset, the mindset that you're going to compete harder than the guy in front of you, is so important. And it wasn't like we didn't have people doing that on our team, but as a collective group, it wasn't as good as it's been in the past. And that's something that I think that now we have more quickness and more athleticism, and I think we'll be able to do it. But from an overall perspective, I just like our balance. I think you see some athletes out there. I think you see some quickness out there. I think you see we have improved skill, and then obviously we have size with our 3 big guys, and they're all different. Travis, Jay, and AJ all can shoot perimeter shots. They can stretch the defense, so we can have some different people maneuvering down there. I think you saw some isolations tonight for Eric Peck, and he can score the ball around the basket, with the right matchup. Tyrone's a guy that no matter who guards him, if he can, he can get into the paint right there. He's very, very efficient. He has a very good in-between game. So, I think we can be a team that stretches a lot of people out, and I like our skill a lot better than last year.
You've talked a lot about Basil and what he can give you from an energy and athleticism standpoint, but him making those shots today, is that what he's been doing in practice?
It's hard because you don't get into 5-on-5 the whole practice. You do a lot of breakdown. You teach the part instead of the whole. And so you don't get as many opportunities until you play a real game. What he did today versus the first scrimmage was I thought he took open shots. He took contested shots in the first scrimmage, and they didn't go down. And I thought tonight he just took what the defense gave him, took some rhythm threes, and knocked them down. He's very capable of being a good three-point shooter. We just got to get him and everybody else to take shots that they can make and take them in rhythm.